Good time of day. Going to be continuing on with Inktober Part 2. And yes, I do have the animation up, and it looks just as scuffed as I left it. Could be a lot more smoothing on the ends, but it is what it is, and it fits. So with that said, let's turn that off. As you see up in the corner, what I have from last week. And bop. What I still have from last week, though editable. Okay, there we are. And today I will be doing up till the 12th. So, Trek, Passport, Hike, Sun, Nomadic, Snacks, and Remote. Trek's probably going to end up as a trail. Passport, I can do the literal passport or make the papers please station. Hike might be a little interesting. Probably do a scene of trail in forest. Sun is sun. Nomadic is an interesting one. Not sure what I can do there. I'll revisit that. Snacks is easy. Hmm? I mean, it's just passport. Um, Remote can do island and all this. Ah, gotcha. I mean, like, what else is a passport but an ID? It's literally what it is. Anyways, ba 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 ba. Let's move on to Trek. So, as I said, let's first get rid of that number. Back to pixel work. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Just have it go like this. And then darken as we go back. And darken a little more. Just to keep things relatively simple. Going to put down a layer of the darkest green grass. That looks a little iffy. That's what edge is are for. Boom. Keeping it rough, I probably should straighten out a little bit, but I think it being off would work. We'll see. I might be completely wrong, and we'll be changing this in 5 minutes. Just try, because the brown and green have two similar values, so I need something to break it up, or else it reads the same. Let's have it go like this. Wap-a-pa. Grab this, move over. Maybe dither just a bit. That said, dither only really works if you have a few layers of it. Yeah, that's too close. I don't have enough pixels to do that right. Okay, let's just move this back. Edges. Dirt path so I can have a little bit of going out there. A little bit of the straight pixels. Okay, so we have that. I want to add a tree to this, but I have already taken up most of the tree stuff, so I'll have to black outline it. Okay. Room. Have to fix those up in a second. Maybe actually change to a square brush. Oops. There we go. There we go. A little bit of the roots going on. Doesn't have to be perfect. Insert Bob Ross stuff here. Okay, there we go. We have tree. Let's say that this is basically being pillow lit so that the front part is the part with the most light. But we're going to start at the darkest color anyways. It's basically going to be the same color as the tree. Contract by 1. We'll fix up the side and edges, but contract by 1. Just making it easy on myself. Boop. Okay. And then we go up here. Do that. Yeah. And the thing with trees is effectively think that they're kind of, well, striped. Unironically, I believe the standard idea of a tree is you stripe it so that you give some idea of bark being on it. I'll fix it in a second, but if I had more colors, I would be attempting to shade the stripes in between, but basics. Okay. Let's rough that up. Can't have that on the edge so much. And then start actually playing into the roots. This one's still a bit too square. Getting a little too overfine. Unless there's a root there that I'm really trying to get, I think putting the single dots everywhere is kind of a mistake. just trying to get some texture of the almost scale-like nature of bark on the trees I'm going for. Just rough. Lots of highlights, lots of little shadows going on. Okay, can I use a different color instead of black? Yeah, this will work. We got the blue, so it gives more contrast. It'd be better if it was orange or red. So this is more blending into the into that, but it works, and it is an offset against the black. I think purple might even work better, but I think that's a little. No. I think it might be a little too high, but since the green is higher value, it might work. Whoops. We're already using that color, so you must accept it. I just want to put a little bit of scraggly tree here. Some sort of damage on it. In fact, I think I want to put a branch going up this way. Have it break into this other tree, making it apparent that this is in front. Speaking of that, I should do a little bit of this. And if I'm going to have random darker spots, I need to have a bit of random lighter spots. That might be too light, but I don't think lime green is it. Nope. I mean, part of it is that I learned not to care and think that everything I do is trash. So I just do it. Fail faster. Maybe learn something. Not the greatest mindset. Especially considering I like doing hatching, which is a lot of meaningless work that doesn't matter. Because a lot of it is just lost. Nobody's going to look at the individual line. Nobody is looking at the individual line or pixel until it looks truly out of place. If it's mediocre, it's fine. And then you just try to have a background of mediocre pixels. Mediocre. Okay, 1 second. 256, 256. There is a concept in animation that you can have exactly half minus 1 of bad frames. So you have your good frame, your bad frame, your good frame, your bad frame. And you can't end like that. You can't start on a bad frame. You can't end on a bad frame. Hence why I'm saying you can only have half minus 1. So you're always stuck with having this. And I mean, you could put two good frames next to each other. I'm not sure if I'm exactly cargo culting. I'm more... I can either do it or not do it, and this is the only way I end up doing it. But, yeah. On the animation, like, this is why you get smear frames, and you get the whole sort of, like, you have 3 heads on the character as they move up. Because that's the bad frame. No, it's not bad in itself. Oh, gotcha. It's not bad in itself because it's adding to it, but if you were to just look at that frame, everything is wrong. And you can't have like all these next to each other, or else the person will actually catch it as a continual thing of being bad. So taking that back, like, you can say all these are bad frames, bad color, and all that, and you would be correct. Now, on that, one second, I think I would put a little... No, that blue won't work. I think this might. Anyways, oh, actually, I could put some rocks in. So, any given part should be slightly less than half bad. That's what I'm getting at. Because you're not going to get all the suck out. I mean, like, maybe in your future Mega Ultimate perfected form, you might be able to get all the suck out. But until then, embrace the suck. That's a little too saturated. Let's go with this. Whoops. There we go. Hike. And I think since I am using that over here, let's put a dividing line right there. Like so. So it fades into the background, goes into the forest. I wish I had another green I could use, but I lack that right now. So that's another one done. And the next was Passport. Can I do a quick stylized one? I don't have a lot of thought on it. Oh, wait, let's see if this updates. So look in the top right corner. Do I want to overwrite? It showed up. Yeah, it shows on there. Oh yeah, that's a docs material, but I always do this properly. Yeah, it updates. Awesome. I knew that OBS updated live on images, but I don't know if they took it out or made it an option. Anyways, do I have this too big? I have this too big. There we go. So yeah, I have my entire setup on the C drive underneath like local work files. So no matter what I do, unless it goes to my documents, and even then, this rig isn't set up with a username correctly. Yeah, C drive. I'm using C drive. How horrible. That said, Ace Sprite could be running off of any drive you want. I've run this off a thumbstick before. Ah, the days when work would let me have a USB. Okay, Passporto. Okay, let's have this be set on a scene. Let's have this on a table. Let's put a gradient in there, because gradients are good. A half-hearted attempt at one. This is a very messy one. I can't get, you know, Papers, Please out of head on it. Did I ever buy that? I don't remember if I did now. I should check. I know if I did, I didn't go ending hunting, which is half the game. Okay, and then I can fade it to my purples. This is really artsy-fartsy because it doesn't follow any computer precision, which you would expect from pixel art. Let's put a hard line on this desk. Like it's the edge. And now it goes back to being that. And then strewn about the table is a blue passport. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We can give it some thickness. Do I ever buy anything? Do I ever have anything that has any connection to anyone else or the media at large? It is my standard. Okay. Do I want to make it thicker? No. Actually, yes. Let's add one more layer to this so I can have a piece of paper sliding out of it. How do I want this? Let's go on the 2s. So if it's on the 2s, this will be on the 1. And we just fill it like that. It's like Valhalla. I've never actually beat a game of that. I don't know. I just end up not. Okay, so if I'm going to have that, I have to... Whoops. Signify the edge. And then I'm going to need a darker color for actually, you know, in here. Let me get some gray for fake writing. A fun little thing. One of the cheaper ways to do fake writing is literally just this. It's so dumb, but it works. You just work in basically three pixel punctuated by some 2 or 1 pixel, and it works. It's not the best, but when you're at such a small scale, you don't get better. And this should have some sort of red stamp on it, because they always do. Round. Or some sort of signia on it. I kind of like that, but as that. There we go. Passporto. Transporter. True. Very true. Yeah, that was a fun thing to drop recently. Okay. So, passport is done. Now hike. Oh wait, did I mix... Excuse me. I was, Thank you. This should be more here. This is what I was thinking of for hike. But I mixed it up with trek because they're basically the same thing. So, let's, go back. So I'm thinking, once again, we have this. This one's just going to be rather simple. The Indiana Jones line. 'Cause I'm not thinking of anything else that seems really interesting for this. Thick on the top. Asymmetrical X. Let's move you over 1 pixel. W, 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 whoops, W, W, move. Up and over, let's just do this. And can do a bit of not exactly feeling this one, but it's on theme. Didn't I do a map before? I did do a map before. Maybe not. So trek, and it has to be different than hike. It does work, but I kind of already have that for explore, I think it was. And I can't just draw people walking, otherwise it's just hike, but also that. Oh, wait, I got an idea. I have an idea. This is kind of an old one, but... Whoops. I have something. Arabian night. Arabian day. Okay, I just need to figure out a better color for the sand. Yeah, okay, I guess the darkest works. Put a big old moon up there so I can get away with actual lighting. Yep. Okay, let's put some phase on the moon. Let's put another camel up here. Or at least leg of one. Another guy back here. We got ourselves a convoy. Let me dither. There's a way to make a brush, but I have never looked into it. Because why make things easier for myself? Boop, 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 boop. Did that improve it? That improves the styling and feel. I will say that much. Boop, 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 boop. A little bit of this. Put him more into the world. Bottom has a lot of stuff. I mean, I could just, you know, do the old fashion and put like an animal skull down here or something. Yeah. Sand pile it is. There we go. I think that works out correctly. That's definitely a track. Maybe round a little bit. There we go. I like that. Okay. On to 9, which is sun. There are a couple ways to do this. There's, you know, just literally, well, whoops, wrong button. Correct button. I mean, there is the cheapest solution of just going. The sun. Sun. Sunset. But what could be done that's more adventurous? So that's what this is all about. Um, I mean, you could just... see actual freedom from inside something. Have like rocks jutting out. And this is like a way out that you were looking for. I think I'll go with that. Oh, yeah, I know what I could do. I know what I can do. We have a guy up here. Waving. Another one with like a hat. And they're putting down a ladder. Or in their, no, well, rope. Rope works better. Let's make it more obvious. Should go straight down. Yeah. Okay. The rope doesn't read. How do I say make it look like he's trying to rescue? But maybe I'm thinking of that too much, and I should just focus on getting this to look somewhat pleasing. No, this looks like they're way further down, so I need to section this off. If I do something like this, and make that up there a much brighter rock, like nothing any of these have. Have it have like its own shade. Maybe. Get that, a little bit of this. The thing with rocks is that you shouldn't draw it very consistent. Like right here, I don't like that these match up. Rocks are, well, rough. That's one of their main traits. So having it be craggy and all this helps a lot with selling rocks. Just random valleys that block light and then have light catch below it. There's a point where you need to stop, but you need to figure that out. Not sure if that reads. Kind of was reading before. I might have gone a little too far on the gribbling. So let's move it out a bit. That looks like it kind of works, so yeah. Go a little easy on stuff protruding. Because it stops reading on that. This one I might keep, though. There we go. I think it was getting a bit too complex up there. Though, should have a little less black to that. Okay. There we go. Sun, as seen from below. Not quite a Jigglypuff, but it works. Save. And the next one is Nomadic. This one is going to be interesting. I mean, like, I could I could once again move this over here and thread about how the heck am I going to do this one's hike. This one's a synonymous to hike. Trek. Well, I have a thought. So let's do the thought. Let's go from bottom right to top left, because I have a tendency to go right, which is, you know, from the Western style of writing, which you go left to right. This comes up in horror movies a lot because the most surprising side is the right side because you tend to go left to right when reading through things, which is why in horror movies in Japan it's the left side that you get your jump scares from. So let's do this. And then... Oh wait, I'm doing this backwards. And this can be a little bit... Whoops. I am doing it backwards, so... Okay, so we have that. Now let's have horizon line. Okay, so we got our 3 planes of things. Put dots here. Some bigger dots here. Up here, could have some sort of silhouette of a person. And they're heading off to something. And just to make this a little more visually interesting, a little bit of clouds. So it doesn't look like water. Just a group of people traveling. Just another little bit of head over here. I don't know what to do about the edges, because I want the gradient of, like, you know, this is further back, therefore it's darker color. But it's still a lot of nothing. I mean, I could put a path on there, but that's not really nomadic. Rocks is always a thing to put, or flowers. I think I have to go with, like, literally dots. Because otherwise it will look odd. Back here you want to see. Maybe you only get them in the first one. I put myself into a corner. I wonder if this will do anything for it. Because the transition is kind of harsh to me. Am I looking at 100%? I'm looking at 500. How does it look at 200? Well, it does kind of do it. What I want is just like it to separate somewhat. No, I think it's too pattern on there. I think I would need a third color, or, well, 2 more at the very least. It reads zoomed out. But yeah, like anything slightly close, it's not that great. I think it works. It has a following. Let's move you down a little bit. Let's get on the stupid artsy things of make something to follow the action, which I mean like you're drawn here or you're drawn back to this. So I need to put at least another person over here. And one broken by that side, yeah. I mean, more people does sort of do what I need it to do. Let's make you slightly shorter. There we go. One of these should have a stick. So let's move you over here to give room for a stick. Or holding hands or whatever you want to read into it. I think this works. This is very much nomadic people moving. I mean, if I want a little more visual interest, I guess I rim this. To not have it be pure silhouette anymore, but, well, it works. Maybe if I had bigger color budget, which is, you know, completely self-imposed, I'd have a little more something to do with it, but I think it's good. I think. Is that all in the numbers layer? Copy. Pasta. Whoops. There we go. Okay. Alright, that's nomadic. That has been saved. The next is snacks. What would be good traveling snacks? There's always the aforementioned trail mix. That is the most traveling snack you can think of. But I don't think it's what I want to go for. I could do hardtack, but nobody would understand what hardtack is. It'd look like cookies of some sort. Fruit works. Do I want to do pixel fruit? I suppose I could do pixel fruit. I don't think a full meal with like ham, bones, or chicken wings or chicken itself would really be a thing for that. So fruit is more on there, some sort of bread. Vegetables don't really work as quote unquote snacks. Um, yeah. So this is going to be a lot of brown. So let's go for gray quote unquote table, or at least a surface, and let's just go with like cookies. I said a gray. There we go. Gray surface, some sort of plate. Doing it the hard way by hand. One, two, three. Oh, actually, let's make it off-centered for interest. But muffin. There's a snack that's mildly unusual. Okay, so we have that on there. Let's make it the darker one so that I can work with this one. We're going to put like blueberries or something into it. Okay, so we have that. I don't know why I always want to do this, but let's add the inner line. Since I'm saying this is very much inward, I should probably, yeah. And let's get ourselves, that's the color, okay. I'm just putting the muffin tin over here. And then we go on this and we go. Yeah, you would have to go to that next. Or this. Have the edge be shiny? I don't know. Anyways, put a little bit of that on there. Say edge of table. We can just have it be black for now. There we go. Add a crumb here. Anything else to do with this? I mean, I could lift the plate off the table slightly. At least the edge of it. There's that. Same down here for the muffin. Don't know if this Craigley is actually improving it or not. Some maybe. So, you know, you have those muffins that are like dusted with something. And the tops are generally lighter in value. Yeah, I think that's too much. Let's add a napkin. A fork wouldn't make sense. Okay, let's just leave it at that. I don't think there's much more to add on here. But I don't think I have enough detail to do the whole top thing justice. It kind of looked a little chaotic when I touched it, so there's that. Actually, let's do the edge here. If I bump this up, well, I have to bump it up too. Boop, 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 boop. Not feeling it. Okay. Yeah, snack. Okay. To today. Let me just delete you. Go away. Remote. So you have like remote island, remote village. I'm leaning towards island. Just remote locations, which could also be a mountain. Mountain might be interesting. Mountain peak. Those are very remote. Few choices on that. Also, you know what? If I'm going to have an edge here, I'm going to have it do something and overlap this so that this looks like it's in front of stuff more. This is getting back to, you know, weird things, but I've watched too much stuff, and so in order to show things are, because ostensibly we're looking at a 2D image trying to represent 3D, which is, you know, a pain. And the easiest way to represent stuff is to stack it. And our monkey brains go thing behind other thing all the way up. However, even with other indicators, such as size, in a 2D space, we are no longer sure what is in front of each other, if they're touching lines or just apart. Because also in this is exactly, this could be bigger than this and further away, but we would not be able to tell until it has like other indicators. And the best way to do any sort of perspective is just to stack stuff. Stack things, don't have them do like right on the line of each other. Don't tangent them. Like, don't do, this is big object. Yeah, optical illusions and all that. That is big object. This is small object in front of it. Or is it? Is it small object a decent ways in front of it? Or is a small object right next to it? Or is it a large object right next to it? But yeah. Lines shouldn't hit lines. Lines should be overlapping in order to best show off distance. And that's why I put this behind there. So brain go, oh yes, this is in front of this, which is in front of this, which has void behind it. Anyways. And we are on to remote, which I think will be mountain. Okay, so I want dark blue sky. So let's go with... Oh, I can even do this better. So it doesn't have to be the peak. It could be like an outpost. So we have this. Then we have the grayness of the mountain. Whoops. Just to have more depth on it. There are ways to draw a mountain. I do not know them. So we have this craggly thing. And then we have a base camp. Have a little bit of rock in front of it. And what else could go on here? Well, it should probably have an antenna. Or some sort of dish. Let's go with dish. But I don't have a lot of silver colors to work with. Plague, dish. I mean, I put that there, that becomes a... that. Kind of want to insinuate that this is flatter ground than the others. I'm not liking the rest of this. This is kind of alright, but the rest of it is kind of making it bad. So let's do that. And let's make this a sheer wall by doing this. It is a little monochromatic, but it's a mountain. They tend to be monochromatic. I may have just ruined some things. Let's say the light is coming up from here instead of from where we are, so we should go a shade deeper, but that's going to be too much. Let's just reset this a bit. So, gray rock. Can we bump it up a color? Sure. So that's our baseline. This is our shadow. Let's just kind of do this. Give a little bit of a winding path sort of thing going on here. I can't go a shade, well, maybe. Oops. I'm on the number layer. I'll be off the number layer when I'm done with it, but actually, let's just go to black. Yeah, sure. And then we'll just texture going up here. Not the best, but it works, maybe. Very Atari, but yeah, this is being somewhat of a pain. Well, let's say there's an established path at least. Just kind of have this wind down to give something to this. Yeah, can only do so much, but need to try. It just needs to look rough. And not something you want to go on. Yeah. Like it's somewhere between a mountain stop and maybe like a scientific station. Not quite sure. It's remote though. It's in mountains. Can I go to... Okay, I'm already at that one. There's the tangent. Let's break that. And we're all better for it. Oh, wait. I don't think I could put... Because that just looks like lights on. I mean, maybe that's good. I wanted to think of, you know, like yellow sign, government facility, da 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 da. Not talking because I'm trying to think. My thought is like down here it's more stable. The higher you go, the more like it just gets more jumbled up and looks terrible to go up. Down here it's still looking kind of bad, but better. Maybe. I think those should be reserved for going up. This makes more sense. Maybe. It's a win some, lose some situation. I'm not good at drawing this, but this looks remote. This looks craggly. Looks like a mess to get to. I think, however, I might want to do that. I think this might be just a bit too much. Oops. Maybe. I'm going to punt. And I think since I'm past an hour and a half, maybe I should go on to other things. I have nothing more planned for today. I'm not doing another animation or trying to improve my last one. Oh, let me export this sucker. And look up there. We have that all set up. Or is it over there? I don't even know if this face has proper tracking. Yeah, it does. Okay, up there. Now updated. And we have 2 full weeks left of Inktober, or your Pixeltober, or your other Tobers. So I am going to call it a day, and thank you for joining. I will see you next time.